a call for referendum.
Those who talk about bloodshed, those who talk about confusion,
is that if you have a problem and you are talking quietly and peacefully, nobody listens to you unless you begin to blow up things and make trouble.
Everything racial, everything ethnic, and we come to the table and work.
If indeed we are Nigerians, then we must come to the table and allow every segment of this country a sense of belonging, so that these agitations will be passed.
Nigerians don't see the opportunities that are about.
Somebody saying that I want to be on my own. Somebody saying you must go on your own. Please take it easy. Our youth, please take it easy. Our elders, please take it easy. I think we are better.
How many times have you heard that people who are resident anywhere went to burn down the mosque? But at one time they will come to burn down the Catholic churches where you are. When we are merely expressing ourselves as provided under the Constitution the right of freedom of worship.
From 1970 to the present, a generation of Nigerians who were born did not know we had a civil war. And I know a lot of young people who do not know Nigeria fought the war. This policy of being an ostrich and not addressing issues is counterproductive. If you lived in America, you know you had the Vietnam War, which happened at the same time as the Nigerian Civil War. You had the Korean War, you had the First World War, you had the Second World War. You have all kinds of wars. And they talk about it all the time. If you watch the Discovery Channel, you can see all the wars in the world. And the reason they televise these wars is so that you can learn from the mistakes of others, so that you do not become a fool and make the same mistakes and fight again.
If you don't want us to express ourselves by talking about Biafra, are you calling for war? Biafra is not a call for war. Yes. It is only blackmailers that say that Biafra is a call for war. That's your hand up. They courage. That's your hip. I'm on APC. I'm a leader of APC. And we will say it in the gathering. I want you need to. Biafra is a call for referendum. Nothing more, nothing less. And how dare Buhari say that he will not abide by the need to call for a referendum? If you call for a referendum today, and those who are in support of Biafra do not win by at least 90%, our commission.
So here we are 50 years later, talking about something that could have been avoided if the federal government at the time understood the value of history. So one, we erased the Civil War from our consciousness. So a generation of people do not know we fought the war or why we fought the war. They say the Igbos were marginalized, right? They fought the war, they lost. Today, they are the most industrious people in the country today. They are the richest Nigerians in the country today. One of the most educated people in Nigeria today. Yet, they feel marginalized. If you compare the Igbo man to the other sections of the society, you would say the Igbos are very privileged because of what they have. Yet, a generation of Igbos say they are marginalized and they want to secede and they want a nation. Well, yes, a young generation of people who have never seen bloodshed, war, destruction, people being killed, amputated, families being divided, sure they can think like that. But what have we done as a nation to educate them about the destruction of war? Absolutely nothing. We do not teach this in our history books. We do not tell our children what war is all about. It's easy to talk about war. How many people have carried a gun, an AK-47, a machine gun, a machete? How many people have carried a gun? How many people have used a gun? How many people have fired a shot? How many people? Those who talk about war, those who talk about bloodshed, those who talk about confusion, have never carried a gun. So how do they know how people die?
Referendum is simply to put a box through. Those in support, yes. Those who are against, no. Put the two boxes. Buhari Sayegbe. Why is it difficult for the elites to join up? So that they may have Nigeria here again. Because Nigeria is sick beyond limit. Nigeria is the only country in the world where every single project that is put in government is put with a plan to steal some money. That is the truth. Third mainland bridge, third Niger bridge, I'm going to be there. Every year, the second Niger bridge, Obasanjo, second Niger bridge, Yaradua, second Niger bridge, Jonathan, second Niger bridge, Buhari, second Niger bridge. Second Niger bridge,
Releasing blood, and yet here we are debating a subject that we as a nation should understand. The educational system does not teach it, and our people do not understand it, and the federal government of Nigeria do not recognize it. And so my position is different. If the federal government do not recognize a fundamental problem in our educational system, a fundamental problem on how television is viewed across the country, then we have a fundamental problem.
So what we are saying in summary is that it is not true that the laws of Nigeria do not give us space to agitate for our rights as a people. Go and see every section of the Constitution that provides for our fundamental human rights. We have never exhausted any of it. But the truth of the Nigeria is that it is the individuals who are running the Nigerian state, who are angry, who don't like the Igbo people to develop, that are suppressing it. Today they are saying that the trailers in Apapa are making life difficult in Apapa, correct? How did that come about? When Obasanjo stopped the importation of textiles from Port Harcourt Wharf, everybody is now forced to go to Lagos. Port Harcourt Wharf is empty. If you allow those people who are importing through Lagos to all pass through Port Harcourt and the Calabar and the Warri, you wouldn't have that congestion in Lagos. They're making it seem as if solving the gridlock in Lagos requires rocket science. It's not. There is suppression of business interests aimed at suffocating Igbo. And we must be bold to address it. Because unless we do so, we do not work.
And we must address the problem at the source. What is the problem? We are the problem. It could be Biafra today, it could be South-South tomorrow, it could be North-East the other day. It doesn't matter. The problem is we are not addressing the problem that unites or divides us. And this must be addressed. Our educational system is one of the worst I've ever seen in anywhere in the world. It is terrible. Our policy on information makes no sense whatsoever. And here we are talking about an impending crisis.
Today, a lot of people are happy celebrating that Dangote is the richest man in the world. He's not richest in nothing. When you are given a monopoly to import cement, and the Beto is stopped for many years so that only you will have a leeway, and then you import the whole flour, and then you import all the sugar, and then you import all the salt, and they stop and they give you a waiver. Even if it's a moron, you will be the richest man in Africa. So all the monopoly legislation that is in Nigeria, we must fight against it in the spirit of Yahweh. And we must work to take advantage of it. Because the truth remains that we have a voracious appetite for education, we have a voracious appetite for entrepreneurship, and we are strong believers in the right of our women. Anytime there is a suppression in the right of women, Ngibu are the worst victims, because we have the largest army of educated women across this country. We must be in the forefront of every agitation to fight against to suppress women's rights. Our women should not be like Buhari's wife. Their position is not in the kitchen.
The problem today in Nigeria, Mr. President, is that if you have a problem and you are talking quietly and peacefully, nobody listens to you unless you begin to blow up things and make trouble. That is why you see every section of this country, people are trying to show their capacity to self-destruct, as if that in any way helps in improving their lot. We must, as a country, begin to listen to people when they are not creating problems. That is part of what we are not doing. I am from Rivers State, I'm from Ogoni. My own people, we have been agitating for years, but our agitation has always been peaceful. It is time that we give the peaceful agitators some attention so that everybody does not have to create problems before we can discuss their issues in this country. I want to thank all those that have supported this motion, but to say that more important than what we say here in the Senate is what we do in our different constituencies and states, is what we do to give all Nigerians a sense of belonging. I think that that is a foundation on which a stronger, more prosperous, and more successful union of all Nigerians will be built. I condemn in very, very clear terms any action by any group or section of our country that tends to limit the rights of other Nigerians, whether in that their own section of the country or in any other section of the country. No Nigerian, whether from the southeast or from the north or from the west or from the south-south, should be allowed to do anything that threatens the rights of other Nigerians to live peacefully in every part of this country. That is where we should stand as a nation, and that is where I stand as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
That's why I'm qualified to be president. And in case you forget, because I will close. One commits an offense if there is a law written down clearly. Show me any law that says you cannot hang a Biafran flag in Nigeria and that will be guilty. Show me any law. Nowhere. So they have the right. So is there a law against the color or the design or the distance? Supposing you break your car, the Biafran flag, would they arrest the car? Supposing you break your house, the Biafran flag, would they arrest the house? So what is the offense in hanging the Biafran flag?
What of the hero here? Hero.
And I must say that we must find a way to begin to enjoy this right, start taking advantage of our legal system, and bringing all this over 10 billion naira we waste every year to train our children out of Igbo land back home. But I will conclude by saying that we must work hard to save this language. If the language continues to die at the rate it's going, I know now. Let's go. I said it. Oh, no, no, you will be very, very low. Take it very low. They can. When you are very low, and they will surely goodness and mercy shall follow me. How can you pray in Igbo and then we surely goodness and mercy shall follow me? I have asked them in different Pentecostal churches. Surely I will pray. That is the last verse of our Woman 23, which we all learned in the primary school. Next year, if the man they break about, so nobody learned it. Why do you say it in English after praying in Igbo?
It is very, very crucial for us as Nigerians to live in peace and harmony. And I believe that our fathers and the patriarchs and matriarchs of our great nation has really looked into that before they came up with our motto for our coat of arms. But I will add only a personal experience that I had just only recently. I was traveling from a flight from London to Lagos, and I looked around in the cabin. I saw a lot of foreigners around me, and that tells me that something is happening in Nigeria, but only Nigerians cannot see it. And we discovered that even in the years past, when we were taken away on slavery, this is how foreigners came in form of missionaries. We benefited a lot, that's not the issue. But you see, what people see in us, we as Nigerians don't even see the opportunities that are abound in this great nation.
In conclusion, by 1974, we
first stanza of our former national anthem. It says, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. I know that many people don't appreciate these two quotes now, but they go way back. One during the war, when we were young, and we were harboring our neighbors who were either Igbos or Hausas. And that was the time when the unity of Nigeria was most important. And the slogan then was, to keep Nigeria one is a task that must be done. And it was done then. Also, with our national anthem, it was something that bound us together as a people. And we all grew up knowing everything across all divides. In fact, I was amazed that we're taking this today because June 12th is also a situation, a time where we had an election that broke all the barriers. It broke the barrier of race. It broke the barrier of religion. And Nigerians came together and voted, and they were with one voice. Also, a situation here in the Senate, where when the issues of unity and development that concerns Nigeria comes to the fore, we all jettison everything racial, everything ethnic, and we come to the table and work for Nigeria. I believe that is what Nigeria is about. I believe the God that put us together in his wisdom knew that we needed to work together. Then
what's up?
I was told about the civil war by my father, who was conscripted into the Nigerian army, and has told us that there is nothing that is more than unity, peace, tranquility, and living harmoniously irrespective of our diversity. The Northeast, the North Central, and the Southwest. Obviously, if we talked about marginalization or even talking about separation or going our different ways, I think the people that ought to now speak about going a different way are the northeastern part of Nigeria, which obviously we were within the southern province. Because as of today, in the United Nations, we are still a custodian, and if we want to go our separate way, no person can tell us no. But we believe that because of the plebiscite of 1959, made us to be part of Nigerians, and we allowed ourselves to be Nigerians, irrespective of our grievances and the marginalization that has been unleashed on the northeastern part of this country. But still, sir, like I said, and I will continue to say, since the invention of democracy in 1999 till date, the northeastern part of this country has not gotten up to 3%. The highest it has gotten was 3% of the infrastructural development in the budgetary allocation. But nevertheless, sir, we have accepted to be Nigerians, irrespective of our diversity. Hate words cannot go take us anywhere. Social media is not even helping matters. We've heard of stories here and there. But the most important thing, to ask ourselves a question: are we truly patriotic as Nigerians? Do we want to be Nigerians first before an individual or collective geopolitical zone? If indeed we are Nigerians, then we must come to the table and allow every segment of this country a sense of belonging, so that these agitations will be kept aside. But we are all here. When it is good, we are Nigerians. When it is not good, then we talk about regional differences. But please and please, for the sake of posterity, let us know that some people have paid for the unity of this country. They have sacrificed innocent blood for us to be where we are today. May we be part of those people that will uphold the unity of this country, so that our children yet unborn will now, continue the good work where we have stopped.
Mr. President, my respected colleagues, perhaps what people don't know is this: the time for people to now get split into different tiny states is gone. It was part of the world history, but now that time is gone. Instead, today, countries are expanding. Countries are trying to expand. Look at China, for example. They have the highest population in the world. But China, you know the history of China and even Hong Kong. The recent history of Hong Kong, how China aggressively decided that they must take over Hong Kong from the British rule. And of course, you know the history between China and Taiwan, the one China policy. In spite of that population, huge population, they are number 1 in the world in terms of population. They are number 4 in the world in terms of geographical area. Nigeria is just number 7 in the world population. Number 7, we are number 7. And when you talk about geographical area, we are number 32. So why are we talking about splitting? Somebody saying that I want to be on my own. Somebody saying you must go on your own. Please take it easy. Our youth, please take it easy. Our elders, please take it easy. I think we are better together. Thank you for the opportunity.
My distinguished colleagues, the Igbo have a saying. I will say it in Igbo and then I will interpret it. Na ihe mere eji enwe oke mmadụ wụ ụmụntakịrị ama gata ada kpọọ ya ebe. What it says here is this, that the reason that you have elders is so that children don't go and eat betel and call it weevil. Because it is only the elder that we tell the child, this one is not edible, it's a betel. This one is a weevil, because they all look alike. The reason why we are here as senators is that we are elders of this country, and we should tell our children which one is a betel and which one is a weevil. That is a word for the wise. Thank you very much.